Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 1019, 100.5, 1450, WGNSSports.com and BigGTV.
And this portion of the show brought to you by Prentice Salsa Heating and Air, family owned and operated since 1977. Get the best service with. But if I had been there last week to tell you, Siegel scares me worse than anybody you can play in district play. You got Siegel, you got your Smyrnas. Well, I think people look at records and go, well, you know, we're going to – but they're all good, aren't they?
Yes, sir. You're having a bad connection, so we're not able to hear you. It's probably a good thing for us though.
Oh.
But we got you back going now. So I just caught the tail end of that. Appreciate you having me on. It must be nice sitting in the living room this morning.
Yeah, I've got my pajama pants on, but with a sweatshirt. Let me rephrase the question. Siegel's a dangerous team. That's a tough game, and a game that creeps up on you. But you've got Smyrna that way. I mean, there are a lot of teams that any night can give you trouble. But Siegel scares me probably worse than any of them in terms of pushing it to the limit, really.
Yeah, they did a great job last night with their game plan that Coach Renshaw and his staff had and executing. We told the kids all week that we're going to get Siegel's best because they had to win last night to get in the playoffs, and it showed. That those kids did not. We blocked a punt in the first series, scored, but those kids didn't lay down. Those kids didn't quit. They kept fighting in the entire game, and you got to give your hats off to Coach Renshaw and the Siegel team because they did an outstanding job. And we had some uncharacteristic penalties, really disappointed in throughout the game. That something that we're not about in what we do. So we'll clean that up this week and get it fixed. But they were causing us problems all night. But one thing I will say is we did find a way to win. We found a way to pull it out and come out on with a W. It was huge for us, and so hopefully that was a wake up call for us. And so we'll be, because we know next week's going to be just as tough.
Would it be fair to say 2 years ago that could have been an upset? I mean, Siegel could have taken you all. I mean, maybe the things fall apart, penalties hurt, and you're just not able to recover 2 years ago, let's say.
Yeah. You can say that. And I will say this about this group. It was, they wasn't really too rattled much. They just kept playing, played through the mistakes, played through the penalties. It wasn't a lot of fighting, and there wasn't anything going on the sideline. We did have a good talk at halftime. I told them we're going to find out what type of team we are in the second half. What are we going to do? How are we going to respond to this? I said because we're going to get Siegel's best, and it was. And like I told you all year long, like every one of these games is a playoff game. They're huge. Siegel had a good crowd. It was good atmosphere last night. It was the first cold Friday night, so it felt like it was football weather, and thought the kids did good. Tyler Bourne-Bozen had a great night with field goals. Him and long snapper Ethan Najim did a great job. Really proud of those guys. Defensively, we played well. We didn't give up much in the second half. But I think we made a few adjustments that helped out, and I think we kind of started playing our style of football and kind of woke up a little bit. So proud of those guys and what they did offensively. I thought got back to running the football. One thing I was proud of. We haven't really run the football like we've done in the previous 2 weeks, but I thought last night did a great job with Jabari and Daniel Smith.
Let me ask you this: How important? I would think it's extremely important that you've got a field goal kicker getting hit them 40 yards or 50 yards. I mean, to have that kind of range, particularly in a critical situation, going into the playoffs after this game next week. That's got to give you a little bit of an edge or help. Yeah.
Tyler connected with his longest last night was a 43-yard field goal. Really proud of him. That was huge for us. Those field goals helped us out. Pretty much helped us win the game with those. Gave him confidence. Not only him confidence, but gave us as a staff to be able to put him out there whenever we need those.
Well, let's talk about some individuals. Elliott had another good game, 9 of 18, 121 yards and a touchdown. He also rushed for 44. His legs mean so much to his game. I mean, he's got that capability of rolling out, making a pass, or can run it. It's kind of a dual threat that you don't get in every quarterback.
Yeah, that's one thing about him. You got to, as a defense, you got to defend all 11. With him running the football, and I thought at times he was able to pull the football and ran and did a great job with that. He started off with a huge pass to Kari Dixon. If I'm not mistaken, Kari finished with, I believe, 6 catches. Was it 105 yards? So I thought he had a great night, and past 2 weeks, it's been Brylan and Bryson with the catches, and then tonight Kari had a big game. So we're able to spread the wealth, and you don't know, you got a couple of guys that you have to stop week in and week out, and you don't know which one it may be.
And Kemp always comes through, it seems like, with a touchdown run of some kind, playing defense as well. That's got to be helping. I would want to say one thing. I think like the defensive line and the offensive line have made great strides over this year, and you want them to come together during playoff time. Defensive line's playing really well, or it has been, and I wasn't able to be at the game last night, but overall, you guys have kind of put that thing together.
Yeah, both. You got to have good fronts on both sides of the ball to have success in this league and make it run in the playoffs. And our guys, James Stewart had a good night last night. Him and Trammell did a great job. Isaac Levy, another one, had a good night. Proud of those guys and what they did. And then offensively, Kenny Jackson, Terry Baskin, Mikel Rodriguez, all 3 of those guys on the offensive line really stepped up and had a great night. Proud of those guys and what they did and what we were able to accomplish. It was, we had to grind one out, and it was a gritty football game, and proud of how they pulled it out.
Your brother mentioned in his interview about every game, the next game playing Oakland at the end of the season is like a playoff game, and preparing for the actual playoffs. You've got a tough matchup coming up next week too in Rockville. They're scary. They can do a lot of things. You've got to be ready to prepare for them. It's actually kind of a pre-playoff game. It definitely is.
Yeah, it's a playoff game. Because they need to win to get in. So we're going to get past 3 weeks. We got every team's best shot. And so like you said, Coach Counts has done an outstanding job. You see from week 1 to now how he's really changed the culture there and getting things going. And they're playing his style of football. Tough, physical football, and you watch them on film and see the improvement from week 1 to now. It's going to be a tough physical football game for us next Friday night. We're going to have to be ready. We can't just walk out on the field and just show up. We got to be ready to play. We got to prepare this week in practice and have a great week of practice in a short week. And it's going to be huge because what they've done and the strides they make throughout this year has been good.
You know more than just about it better than anybody about how to change the culture. How do you go about doing that, and how are you successful doing that? Because it's like Coach Counts has changed the culture there. I think you've changed the culture at Blackman. It's no easy task, though, is it?
No, it's not. You're gonna have your ups and downs, and it's tough. I think he's done a great job, and you've got to put your stamp on a program, how you want it to be done, how you want practice to be run, how you want the weight program to be run, how they act during the school day, all everything in a program. You've got to do it, and then you have buy-in from your assistants, and I think that's one thing that's really helped me out. I've got a great group of assistant coaches who's done an outstanding job in everything that we do. And then administration, I can't say enough. About our administration. We've got a great administration staff at Blackman. They believe in what we're doing and what we're trying to do each year, and they see it, and so it's been huge and help us to get where we are today. And you see the same thing going over there at Rockville, what they're able to accomplish this year, and there's no telling the strides they're going to make in the next couple of years.
You also have to have stability, don't you? I mean, it's hard to change coaches and keep changing coaches over and over again. There's got to be I think what would be a plan. I mean, a basic plan, or a 3-year plan, or 4-year plan, or something, because it is hard to do it overnight.
Yes. You know, when I came in and when I sat down and met with Mr. Smith and administration staff, you know, I told them my plan and what we want to do the next 3 to 5 years, and you know, I think you know, we're making. We had our small goals and our bigger goals, and I think each year, you know, we're getting better and we're doing things, and you can see that with this senior class and the junior class has been with us since we've been there, you know, and you see the change and what they do, you know, and so it's been huge, you know, like you said earlier, you know, maybe 2 years ago we might not have won this game, but you know, no one panicked last night. They just kept playing and kept grinding, and you know, we were able to come out with the win.
Your guys just never give up. I mean, the games that I've seen and over this year, I mean, you just really, I think your tenacity throughout the whole game, it never seems to. You don't have any ups and downs. You just play it and play as hard as you can, 24/7 as much as you can.
And I was really proud of Daniel Smith. Stepped in at running back last night. I believe he had 11 carries for 61 yards. You know, he's come off an injury from last year, and he's really the second half of the season started getting his groove and getting back to the old Daniel, what we saw as a sophomore year. So that was huge night for him, and see the success he has and all the hard work that he's put in the past 3 years that he's been with us.
That's like adding a depth piece, isn't it? I mean.
Yes.
That you didn't maybe have at the beginning of the year, but now you've got it. That helps a lot.
Yep.
Matt, always, go ahead.
No, I challenged the kids this past week about running the football, and you know we got three outstanding backs that can do it. So I told them if we're gonna win here in the next couple of weeks, we got to have a good run game, and I think those three guys will take care of business.
Matt, always a pleasure, and doing great things out at Blackman and your coaching staff, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Hey, we'll always get to sit in this seat now. I'm in your seat today, so I'll get to use it moving forward.
And you can have that job if you'd like. In fact, you do. You look a lot better, that's for sure. That's Matt Kriesky, the head coach of the Blackman Blaze. And when we come back, we'll continue with the Prentice Awesome Heating and Air Coach's Corner, brought to you by Craig's Tax Service, specializing in personal and business tax preparation, financials, and bookkeeping services. Find out more at CraigsTaxService.com.